This is the Hoops 8 Tournament Preview Show. Here's Sports Director Travis Lee.
Oh, good evening to you, and thanks for joining us on our annual look ahead to the Maine High School Basketball Tournament. On the way, we'll break down all of the 10 boys and girls championships, hear from some of the players who could be immortalized over the next 3 weeks, and we'll even catch up with the star of last year's tournament, Cooper Flagg, as he continues to make a name for himself on the national stage. A reminder for the best in tournament coverage, join us every night of the tournament at 11 o'clock for the recaps, the storylines, from the prelims to the state finals. Hoops 8 on WMTW at 11 o'clock. Now, at this time of the year, there is no buzzword in coaching that rivals matchups. Matchups give programs equal levels of hope and fear heading into the ultimate playoff where it can be win or go home.
Matchups. I think that could be actually the biggest and most important factor. The matchups, how you fall into place, not so much the seeding.
Size, speed, zones, man-to-man, full court and half-court defenses. They all present their own dynamics that can bring a unique problem to a team.
In the last few years, Wyndham has typically been a very big, strong team, and they've been able to play a 2-3 zone really, really well. And teams have had trouble with them, even though their records weren't great. We're talking to each other, and we're going, geez, that's not the team we want to play.
A good matchup can give a lower seed hope against the dominant top seed.
Matchups are always a big thing. It's crazy how sometimes a team that's a lower seed can compete and even beat those higher seeds because of those matchups. In 2015, after we had gone to the States in 2014, we ended up losing in a quarterfinal to a Brunswick team that was really just a bad matchup for us. We beat them twice during the regular season, but it was close games, and we just didn't feel great about that matchup.
The Class B and C tournaments create interesting matchups between schools from different conferences who are meeting for the first time.
We kind of like to stay away from the teams that we play during the regular season. We play Madomic Valley, we play Lincoln Academy, we play Miranda Cook. We play those teams that are really good teams. They've seen us, we've seen them. We beat most of them twice. It's very difficult to beat a team a third time.
Tilting a matchup in your favor might require utilizing a particular strength of a player.
A girl on our team, Peach Zucker, she didn't play a whole lot for us during the season, but she's put me on Chelsea. And, in the second half, I put her on Chelsea and she locked her down, a lot better than we did in the first half. So, yeah, you definitely have those players that can step up and play a role and that you need to be all right, your job is defense tonight.
The chess match inside the game cannot go overlooked, and especially for the teams with bigger rosters.
Fortunate to have enough players that can play certain ways, you got to use them. And you hear sometimes when you do that, someone goes, where'd this kid come from? You go, he's been around, I just use him against certain situations.
And of course, on the flip side, there are the teams that enter the tournament matchup proof. These elite squads have the talent and versatility to dictate style of play.
I feel like the matchup doesn't really matter to us. We just kind of we'll watch the film, we'll do the research, and we're going to play to our strengths off of their weaknesses.
Yeah! So who has a bad matchup? Who has a good matchup? We'll get into that later, but first, a history lesson. What state championships have been determined by buzzer beaters? There are now 5 in the club. The granddaddy of all buzzer beaters turns the clock back to March 8, 1969. The shot heard round the state. Mike Thurston of Caribou with a half-court shot to beat Westbrook and win the A championship. 1992, Jeff Love of Winthrop, with his team down 2 to Washington Academy, picks up the loose ball and gives the Ramblers the state title. In 2001, an epic battle in Bangor, the Rams of Bangor. Joe Campbell grabs the errant shot to beat Nick Kaner Medley's Deering Rams at the Horn. And in 2015, Cape Elizabeth was down 6 with 73 seconds left. They rally, and Ethan Murphy's layup at the buzzer gave Cape the state championship. And the newest member of that club is still playing this year. Charlie Houghton of Dirigo hit a 3 as time expired last year, giving Dirigo a state championship game win over Dexter. Could Dirigo and Dexter be on a collision course for a rematch? Well, Dexter's the 3 seed in the north, while Dirigo is the top seed in the south. But there are plenty of challengers for the Cougars to knock off before defending their title. In Connor Vashon, Richmond has an elite scorer it can count on in crunch time. Mount Abram reached the MVC championship game and probably thinks it could have beaten Dirigo twice, losing both games by a combined 7 points. Old Orchard's Landon Johnson and Brady Croto are as good a 1-2 punch as Class C has, averaging a combined 37 points a game. The Gulls hope the big game experiences from their state title-winning football players can carry over to the court. The Calder brothers, Sammy and Manny, are the headliners on a veteran Monmouth team that is looking for its first state title appearance. Dirigo is balanced with 3 players that average double figures, led by Charlie Houghton's 18 a game. Sophomore Nathaniel Wainwright has fit in with a senior-heavy team, scoring 13 a game this year. For us tonight, along with me, as he is every year, the forecaster Michael Hoffer. Michael, thank you very much for joining us tonight. And, I think there's some people they'd love for us to debate whether there should be a shot clock in Maine for the next 55 minutes. Yeah. We'll save that for the pay site. But we're going to talk Class D boys right now. And Dirigo, they are the defending champs.
Yeah, it's great to be here again, Travis. As always, thank you for having me. And yeah, I mean, Dirigo, it looks like all roads go through them to the title, but one team that did beat them during the regular season is right behind them in the heels, and that, of course, is Monmouth Academy. Old Orchard with Landon Johnson, they're going to be tough. They're having a fantastic season. So there are several teams that could give the Cougars a challenge as we go along. And of course, one of the big stories this year is the crossover scheduling, which hadn't happened for a long time. I know a lot of schools wanted it, but having the Western Maine Conference and the Mountain Valley Conference an opportunity to play a couple regular season games like Dirigo facing NYA, nothing but good for those Mountain Valley Conference teams especially. It's going to make them battle tested for the tournament.
And a big part of all this, Michael, is that you get the prelims in this class. The 3 seed has to play a prelim. Right. Old Orchard last year was a 2 seed when we had an open tournament, and they lost in the prelim. So got to get through that prelim to get to the floor in Augusta. And something important to remember about this whole region is that there were a lot of returners this year in this class. A lot of young teams last year. They played the season last year closely. Monmouth had a 9-point lead going into the 4th quarter of the regional final against Dirigo last year. They easily could have won the regional championship a year ago. And so you've got all these teams with a lot of experience, and that factors into, what should be a pretty wild tournament. And, there's a team at the bottom of the rankings here that has had a lot of success that, could be a surprise too.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Waynfleet in the 9 seed. They have to play at Madison just to even have a chance to play Dirigo, but a lot of tournament success. Rich Henry's done a great job with that program. Multiple regional finals, trips to the state finals. I don't think that's a team you necessarily want to see in your bracket.
No, certainly not. Should be an interesting matchup as that kicks off next week with our prelim action. And got to look out for Old Orchard, a 6'7" player, Diamond Hazakima, who's coming and has really developed as the season has gone on, could be a difference maker. And you got to look out for Peyton Mitchell at Mount Abram, a guy who can score, and they had a couple good cracks at Dirigo as well during the regular season. All right, our Class D look right, our Class C look right there. Now our boys' plays of the year, let's check out our candidates. Edward Little's Marshall Adams from just inside the half court versus Deering. Westbrook's Aiden Taylor from beyond half court sinks it against the Clippers of Yarmouth. How about that? Scarborough's Liam Garapi on the fast break goes behind the back to himself and finishes. And Elliot Bouchard going to put a body on him, flying in for the big finish. How about Sanford's Makai Bougie? The foul and then the off-balance fadeaway, swishing it. Our boys' plays of the year. More tournament preview show is back when we come back in a moment.